I will say happy weekend, fellow Toastmasters and its guests into this.
Is it my network?
No, don't worry about that. Good morning, everyone, fellow Toastmasters and guests, friends and family listening to us worldwide, wherever you are. And I'd like to introduce my Sergeant at Arms in person of Toastmaster Damilare to coordinate the meeting. Toastmaster Damilare, are you there now? So that you can take us through the Toastmasters promise. Toastmaster Damilare, over to you. Sergeant at Arms, please.
Yes, Toastmaster Harrison. Toastmaster Harrison, go ahead,
Yes,
please.
I'm online. I'm okay. Sorry for it was a network issue. Yes.
Go ahead.
So that quickly,
go ahead.
I would like to share my screen for the Toastmaster promise. Please, can we confirm if you can see the screen? Can we all see the screen, please? Can we all see the screen, please? Okay.
Yes, I can.
Okay, please, we'll just recite all together. I would not like everybody to mute. We'll just recite all of us to be unmuted so that we can recite it together. So for the count of 1 to 3, 1, 2, 3, go. As a member of the Toastmaster International, my club, I promise to attend club meetings regularly, to prepare all of my projects to the best of my ability, basing them on the Toastmasters education program, to prepare for and fulfill meetings assignments, to provide fellow members with helpful, constructive evaluations, to help the club maintain the positive, friendly environment necessary for all members to learn and grow, to serve my club as an officer who called upon to do so, to treat my fellow club members and our guests with respect and courtesy, to bring guests to club meetings so they can see the benefit Toastmasters membership offer, to adhere to the guidelines and the rules for all Toastmasters educational and recognition programs, and finally, to act within Toastmasters core values of integrity, respect, service, excellence during the conduct of all Toastmasters activities. Fellow guests and honor, I would like to also introduce to us our president for the day, our great and honorable TM Larry Lawa. I would like to read his profile. TM Larry Lawa, we are not new to him. He joined the Toastmaster in 2017. He is an information technology SASA. He watching football and reading. He is the current president of the Lighthouse Toastmaster Club. Please, can you join me as we welcome our TM president to the virtual event? TM President Larry, over to you, please.
Wow, what a combined honor, TM President Larry. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Harrison. It's my pleasure having you. And for proper international standard for us to be viewed, because we are not meeting physically, I'll crave your indulgence to put on your video and to mute your mic, so that at least we can have a feel of you. If you can, please kindly put on your video wherever you are, where at least we can see your face, and it's in line with my topic for the future speech today, because home is where your heart is. And that is the reason why we love to see you. Wherever you are is home for you for now. And wherever you are listening to me, I can see TM Philip Obi, I can see TM Pradeep, but I'm seeing someone that is representing TM Pradeep or using TM Pradeep assets and login. So home is wherever your heart is, and it really goes a long way. And the reason why I choose this topic to speak to you that home is wherever your heart is. Recently, I just realized that I've been working from home for the past 1.5 years, precisely March 23rd last year. And up to this moment, I've been working from home. And at times you now wonder and ponder, how long would this be anyway? But for new life and new perception of working, and it's really make life easier and so simple, seamless in such a way that you can be more productive even when you are settled at home. And these are the benefits of working from home. And there are some slight disadvantages anyway, but if you could weigh both here and there, you realized that working from home even supersede, you save gas. Instead of you moving to and fro, you'll be more committed to the family in such a manner that you'll be able to bond well with your family and your heart is settled. Unlike previously, where you're moving from one place to the other, you wake up in the morning, you're not settled, you run pillar to post, and you do a lot of stuff here and there. So I recall now Premier League has started. So we have, how many of you are fans of Arsenal? Please don't deny them, please. If you're a fan of Arsenal, I need a show of hand, just 30 seconds, because I have to move fast. If you're a fan of Arsenal, be proud of your club. I need a show of hand. Arsenal may be playing from home today or wherever. There's a reason why I'm asking that. Okay, but I have a fellow Liverpoolian online. Okay, so TMI Yoshidi, are you still a fan of Liverpool? Can I hear a yes from you? Okay, you're a fan of Chelsea, TM Gimba, that's nice. But TM Ayoshiji, are you still faithful to Liverpool? Can I hear a yes from you?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
so how do you feel? How do you feel when you play at home? When you play at home, home is where your heart is. How do you feel when you play at home? When Liverpool is playing at home, how do you feel?
I'm rest assured because it is certain that win or draw, most likely.
Win or draw, you are still at home and your heart is set, right? Okay, now I've just been given a couple of breakfasts. Now I'm at home and I'm still delivering a future speech. So now, how do you feel more? Where at home you can wear coffee cloth and you don't need to put on ties. And I might not be able to come to Toastmasters meeting physically the way I am now. Or if I've lost game, I'm seeing that at a row. It doesn't matter. You never walk alone. It's better you change your jersey to red. So now, what I'm trying to pass across is this. When you are at home, your mind is settled, your heart is settled, everything is intact. Back to memory lane in 1999, when we have a bomb blast in Nigeria far back then, and the then president, Olusegun Obasanjo, had to come to the military cantonment. And everyone was running helter and scatters, wherever they are. So we were just wondering, who else in my family is still outside? Because we don't know whether it's a war, whether it's a coup, but we're just wondering, are you at home? So what my mom was just doing to cross-check, far back then, you don't have the proper GSM to cater for everyone. So people thought, oh, democracy just started. Is there another coup in place when we're listening to the bomb blast? So everyone was just running here and there, thinking wherever you are, where your heart is, just felt at home. So until my mom was able to count all his children, at least for the nuclear family, stating that, okay, these are my 3 boys at home. Here I am at home. No GSM those days, but we just need to count everyone. And we know that January 12, 2002. Thank you very much for that. And we just wondered that, okay, fine, everyone is intact. So you can imagine wherever you are now, or you can imagine if you are in Afghanistan and you are a Nigerian citizen, will there be a aircraft to take you back at home, or will your mind still be in Afghanistan as of today, or your mind will be at home, that home sweet home, let me just go back to Nigeria, my country. So the bottom line is this: wherever you are, no matter how best you're giving it to, even if you're in the best of the best country, quote and unquote, as of today, your mind will still be at home and your heart will still be at home. So I can guarantee you, wherever you are and how you place home figuratively will make you to have a very good rest of mind. So I appeal to you, wherever you are, try to make it home. You can have a building not called home, it's still a house, but wherever you are, please make it home. Thank you very much. So thank you very much for that. The next line of item on the agenda is to introduce someone very extraordinary and so nice to me, someone full of energy, someone I look up to as a mentor. You can see that his video is totally different from all your videos. And it's just to tell you how exceptional, how extraordinary he is. He's a veteran Toastmasters. They don't put that in his own part of what I'm trying to read, but this part of my personal relationship with him is tall, dark, and handsome. He's a former president of Lighthouse Prestige, Toastmasters Club. He is a senior commercial manager in a very big industry. So when you see him, tax him and put a standing order in his account and credit yourself if you can do so anyway. He has won numerous awards, such as Area 18 Table Topic. Welcome to the virtual lectern. No other person than Toastmaster Philip Obi. Thank you very much.
Toastmaster Philip, you're muted.
Oh, snap. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me now? Okay, good. So thank you for that introduction.
You adjust your video. We can see you sideways.
Sideways? What is so sideways?
Except you want us to better now.
Okay. This is gonna be weird. So, can you see me?
Yes.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon for those that are in a different time zone. Thank you for that introduction, TM, Larry, and our president. And for those of you that don't know me, I am back from a small hiatus, I guess very apt to the theme for today's meeting, home is where the heart is. My heart just brought me back home. I haven't been in a meeting for the past almost a year and a half now. So I missed you guys, it's good to be back. And I'm assuming everyone is familiar with I can't see if there are any guests in the meeting. So I think with that being said, I think I'll just move into the actual, to the agenda. So we're going to, the first item on the agenda, I'm going to call on the general evaluator of the day in the person of Chinyere Emeka. That is a nice name. My name is also Emeka, for those that don't know. So Chinyere is the VPM of Lighthouse. She is an entrepreneur who joined Toastmasters in January 2020. She enjoys discovering new things on the internet and meeting people. So please unmute your phones and give a resounding round of applause for TM Chinyere Emeka.
Okay, thank you, TM Philip Obi, for that warm introduction. Good morning, Toastmasters and guests. It is a wonderful day today, and I can assure you that this is the best home you can have. To me, a home is not just the building, the structure, or its being. It is a place where you receive love, support, and encouragement within a place that is within a people that gives you the love, the support, and an encouragement. And permits me to say that Toastmaster is a home. I can remember the last time I gave a speech. During my speech, at some point, I froze. I literally froze. And all the love, the support and encouragement I got, oh, you can do it, you can do it. And because at the end of the speech, I did it. I actually did it. And these are the support and encouragement you need in a home. And Toastmasters is a place for that. So as a general evaluator, my role is to evaluate everything that takes place during the course of the meeting, from such as the preparation, the timeliness, the performance, and so on. And I will not be doing this alone. I'll be doing this with my prestigious role players. So on my list is the grammarian. I'll be calling them out, and I would love you to welcome them with a resounding round of applause. So my list is the grammarian, who is TM Damilare Ogunaike. I hope I got it correctly.
Perfect.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Damilare. Yes, I can.
Okay.
Damilare Ogunaike. TM Damilare joined Toastmasters in April 2021 and has already won Best Table Topic Speaker. He's a project manager who loves music and reading. So TM Damilare, please read out your role so we can all know.
Good morning, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and our esteemed guests. It's a very beautiful morning today, and I'm really excited to be here. So my name is TM Damilare, and I'm the grammarian of the day. As the grammarian of the day, firstly, I'll be introducing our word of the day. And that word of the day is dwindle. Dwindle. So what does dwindle mean? Dwindle means to diminish gradually in size, amount, or strength. As an example, since I joined Toastmasters, my fear of public speaking has dwindled significantly. Another example is this, which we will all resonate with. Traffic has dwindled to a trickle. For a final example, in the last few years, Nigeria's economy has been steadily dwindling. So again, the word of the day, dwindle. You are encouraged to use this word as much as possible while you're speaking. So secondly, as a grammarian, I'll be listening carefully and tracking the use of the word of the day. I'll also be listening for great uses of languages and opportunities where members could have spoken more clearly or used better vocabulary. This will involve looking out for things like excessive repetition of certain words in the same sentence, incorrect use of a word, wrong use of conjunctions, adverbs, and nouns. At the end of the meeting, I will give a report on of observations and then recommendations. Again, please endeavor to use the word of the day, dwindle, which means to diminish gradually in size, amount, or strength. Thank you very much, and over to you, Toastmaster.
Okay, thank you, TM Damilare. So on my list is the timekeeper. And the time TM Ayegbemi Ayosiji. I don't know if I got it correctly. TM Bemi. He joined Toastmasters in 2020 and is an audit consultant who enjoys reading and listening to music, most especially as Asha songs. He is the former Sergeant at Arms and is the current secretary of Lighthouse Prestige Toastmaster Club. Please, with love emoji, can you please welcome TM Bemi to the stage? TM Bemi.
All right, thank you very much, the general evaluator. I'll be playing the role of the secretary. My name is Nashida. So my role is basically was the simplest in the role today. I'll be in charge of timing the meeting so that we can spend less time and we are going to be accurate with the timing. So the meeting is divided into two portions. We have in the tabletop session and the prepared speeches. So for the table topic, you have 1 to 2 minutes to speak. While for the prepared speech, we have different speeches today. We have one for 4 minutes to 6 minutes, 5 minutes to 7 minutes, and 3 minutes to 4 minutes. So for the table topic, when it is 1 minute, I'll share my green card, which is this. I'm sharing my screen to show that okay, we have spent 1 minute already. When it is 1 minute 30 seconds, I'll share the yellow card to tell you that okay, you spend 1 minute 30 seconds. And when it is 2 minutes exactly, I'll share the red card to show that your time is up and you have 30 seconds to wrap up. Also for the prepared speeches, I'll also do the same. When it is 4 minutes, I'll share the green card. 5 minutes, I'll share the yellow card. While when it is 6 minutes, I'll share the red card to tell you that you have 30 seconds left. So at the end of the day, I will be giving my reports to show how accurate we are and to also give report on those that spend more than the required time. Over to you, the general evaluator.
Okay, thank you. Me. So on my list again is the accountant, TM Tessie Idike. TM Tessie Idike works as a human resource practitioner. She loves to fish when she can. She loves to read books and she loves traveling. Please welcome TM Tessie to read us a role and tell us what it is about. TM Tessie. I don't know, is TM Tessie available? Because I don't know if she's here.
Check to see if she's on.
I saw her a while ago. I don't know.
Maybe
it's the network.
Maybe her data has dwindled.
It's really cat and dog here. What's that all about so that Madam President can step in? That's the reason why we're here for business continuity.
She's playing the role of an accountant.
Maybe someone can pick up the role temporarily till she gets on.
Okay, the role is basically to be on the lookout for anyone that will speak in the course of the meeting with the excessive use of, we call it filler words. Filler words include words like we're enjoying to please pause, as against the use of filler words when we're making our speeches. That's all the role is basically about. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for stepping in, TM Muslimot. Okay, the next on the list is the listening evaluator, TM Ifeoluwa Oshodi. TM Ifeoluwa, I don't know if she's here also because I'm not seeing her.
Hi, I'm here. Good morning, everyone.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Just please tell us what your role is all about.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I am so honored to be today's listening evaluator, which incidentally is my first role. I'll start by saying that I have learned over the years, and I am sure you will agree with me that good listening is crucial to maintaining productive relationships. And it is very important to always listen with the intent to understand and not with the intent to reply. I know sometimes the temptation to listen with the intention to silence a speaker, it can be very high, but I'll just encourage us to do our utmost to listen actively and try to apply some emotional intelligence when dealing with someone in a particular situation. So as the listening evaluator, I will note interesting information from any of the speakers and ask questions near the end of the meeting to see if everyone paid attention. So I urge everyone to listen actively and get ready to answer questions when it is time. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Okay. Thank you, TM Ifeoluwa. So at the end of the meeting, we will all be coming back to give our report. So just watch out for us. Okay, back to you, TM, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, TM Chinyere, and to all your fellow, your team members. One of the things I really picked up from what everyone said was that, I think it was TM Ifeoluwa Oshodi that said that she's a good listener. But truth be told, do you know of any woman that is not a good listener? I almost feel like all women are good listeners, right? Am I wrong with that?
You are right. Yeah. We are all
as a man, you're always right.
Right on point.
Who said that?
It's me, TM Juice.
I've not met you and I love you already.
Be careful.
No, this is one of the things I missed about the club. Actually, the reason why I stopped coming was the virtual world was not my thing, but I'm having to get used to it because this is the new reality. So it's good to have a good chuckle on a Saturday morning. That was a real good joke. So with that being said, let's move on to the next part of the meeting. And we'll be chaperoned in this particular part by a seasoned Toastmaster. She's into fitness. She joined Toastmasters in 2016. She is the immediate past VPE of Lighthouse Prestige Toastmasters Club. She's a dance and fitness instructor who loves reading and writing. Please make welcome to the stage to anchor us on the table topics session, TM Queen Nkubre.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Philip, Toastmaster of the Day. I apologize, Toastmaster Queen.
What happened to
she will be
TM?
late.
You have transformed?
No. As you can see, I am not Toastmaster Queen. However, I am Toastmaster King, if you like. She will be late. So she asked me to go ahead and start the role before she joins in. She has sent in the questions to me, and I will take over the role with your permission, sir, Toastmaster Philip.
Yes, please. Carry on.
Thank you so much. Now, the table topics is a session where you are forced to think on your feet. Have you ever been roasted and then 2 days later, you're not thought of a comeback and you are thinking to yourself, I should have said that day, you know? Has a child ever asked you, where do babies come from? And you're not thinking, you know? If you've ever been in that situation, then this is the session for you. You are asked to think on your feet and to speak for a topic you don't know about for 2 minutes. As the timekeeper rightly said, a minimum of 1 minute and a maximum of 2 minutes. I have a list of questions. I have a list of 5 questions with me today. And my job is simply make you nervous or make you sweat. And so I will look around in the audience. I'm open to volunteers, but I will look around as well. If I see that you are trying to hide, I will call upon you and force you to speak for a minute or 2. This is very good. It helps us to think on our feet. It helps us to take advantage of opportunities. And it teaches us how to actually sell ourselves. I can see a volunteer already. Wow, I can see volunteers. This is going to be interesting. Okay, the first volunteer is Toastmaster Joy as expected. Toastmaster Joy, Cheyenne. I have a list of 5 questions. Can you please choose?
I'll take question 5.
Question 5. Okay. Toastmaster Joy, question 5 is, if you could have picked your own name, what would it have been? Your time starts now.
Good morning, Toastmasters and guests. If I could pick my name, what name would it be? I think that's a very easy question because each time I try to think of a name to name my daughter, I would just go with that name. So that name is Zoe. It is spelled Z-O-E, and it means life, the God kind of life. The reason why I find that name unique and with a meaning that I resonate with is that the God kind of life is like central to human existence. If you are a Christian or a born-again Christian, you would understand what it means when I say Zoe. So Zoe is basically God living on your inside and telling you, turn left, turn right, do this or do that. And I understand the importance of names because there were times in the Bible where God took it upon himself to change the names of people. So he changed Abram's name to Abraham. He changed Jacob's name to Israel. So I understand the importance and the significance of having a name that kind of propels you into where you should be and how you should go. So back to the question, if I were to pick a name, it would most likely be Zoe. I have told you the reasons why I chose that name. And I recommend, if you're thinking of a female name to name your daughter, you might want to consider the name Zoe. So Zoe it is. Thank you very much.
A round of applause to Toastmaster Joy. Thank you so much, Mama Zoe. That's a nice name, actually. Okay. The next volunteer is Toastmaster Timothy Awanove. Toastmaster Timothy, can we hear from you? There you are. Okay, yes. Toastmaster Timothy, you have questions 1 to 4.
Okay, I'll go with question 1.
Question 1, okay. Toastmaster Timothy, what did you want to be while growing up? Your time starts now.
Okay, thank you very much. While growing up, what I wanted to actually become was being a mechanical engineer. The reason why I thought of becoming a mechanical engineer was because I liked to create things, and growing up with my siblings, one of my brothers, he enjoys creating stuff. So I think that was what led to, my wanting to become an engineer, even though I didn't achieve that because, Nigerian system would make you write JAM, fill in the courses you want. At the end of the day, they won't give you, the actual course that you want to study. So at this time, I still find myself doing things that are creative, which is still about the same as being an engineer, that's creating stuff. So that is that. So being an engineer is what I would have loved to become. Yeah, thank you. Over to you.
Thank you so much. Please, a round of applause to Toastmaster Timothy. Thank you so much. Just because you're an engineer doesn't mean you can't be anything else. You can be whatever you want, whatever you want. You just have to make up your mind. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Timothy. Our next volunteer is Toastmaster Muslimot. Toastmaster Muslimot, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. And you?
Fine, thank you. So you have questions 2 to 4. 2, 3, and 4 are open. Which one would you like to take today?
I'll go with question 4.
Question 4, okay. What traits do you admire most in a close family member? Your time starts now.
Thank you very much. If I go by the question, it said, what trait will I admire most in a close family member? In everything one does in life, there is a saying that if you lose trust, you lose everything. So for me as a person, I hold trust dear to heart, and I believe trust should be the basis of all dealings. In a close family member or with a close family member, I would have loved to see a situation where I could rely on you, sleep, snore, and be sure that I'm covered. And that could only happen if there is trust in abundance. Trust go beyond me seeing you and you acting just for me to portray the fact that I'm well covered. It is a situation where I'm there, I'm not there, I know my interest is well protected. That is trust. In a family member, I would love to see the trait of trust in abundance and trust I hold at a very high esteem. And I charge each and every one of us to please give people opportunity to trust them. No matter the situation we find ourselves, no matter what we do, let there be evidence of trust, because where trust reigns supreme, then everything dominates. As it is today, trust is dwindling in the society, but the fact is, if it continues or if it starts with one, then it goes across board. So if I decide to trust today and TM Cheyenne equally decide to trust, it goes on and on, but rather than dwindle, it increases by the day and everybody is happy for it. So I would love to see trust more in her close family member. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Muslimot, or should I say Motivator Muslimot? Thank you for that. Okay, our next volunteer is TFO. TFO, can we hear
I'm right
from you?
here. Can I do this without a video?
Oh, I would have loved to have your video on, but it's okay. We will go ahead. You have
Thank you.
question 2 and 3 open. Which one would you like to go for?
Question 3.
Okay. Question 3 says, if you could trade places with a parent, what would you do differently? If you could trade places with a parent, what would you do differently? The time starts now.
Thank you very much. If I could trade places with a parent, I would listen more to my children. I'll pay attention to the things they say and the things they don't say, because I believe that communication is done holistically. And if I pay attention to those things, I am sure I'll be able to guide them. I am sure I'll be able to see from their perspective and help them to do things better in their life and get better results for themselves. I believe that the mistakes my parents made with me was not listening to me, even when I was not saying anything. So it's not everything they told me to do that I actually like. It's not everything I tell them I'm doing that I'm actually doing, but they weren't listening, they weren't paying attention. And so I'm where I am today because of their lapses in the area of listening. So I believe that if, as a parent, I listen more to my children, I'll be able to help them and achieve greater things in their lives. Thank you very much. That's all from me.
Thank you so much, TFO. Please let's give her a round of applause. That was a wonderful response. Thank you so much. Because of time, we are supposed to go ahead, but Toastmaster Rajiv volunteered, and I believe we can make an exception, Toastmaster Rajiv. You will take the final question today. What's your best space/room at home?
Good morning, everyone, fellow Toastmasters and guests. The question that's been put forward to me is, what is the favorite room or the favorite place? The favorite place or room I have in my house is wherever I can spend some time with my family. In the living room, when we are just sitting down to have a meal, or when we are having, when we are watching some TV, is where, because heart is where the home is. So, and there should be no dwindling of love and abundance in the family. So for me, any space where I can spend quality time with my close family is where I want to be. The comfort, the peace you can have is amazing. And yeah, that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rajiv. That was wonderful. My favorite place, my spot at home is everywhere, as long as it's home. I don't even care if it's like by the door. As long as it's home, I like it. So thank you so much. Okay, we've come to the end of the session. Toastmaster Ayanshiji, have all our speakers kept to time? Were they on time? Can they be voted for?
Did we lose him?
Apologies. Sorry. Every one of the speakers, except for Toastmaster Rajiv, that spent less than 1 minute. He spent 57 seconds. I don't think he's eligible to be voted for. Okay. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rajiv. Unfortunately, you will not be voted for. The rest of the 4 speakers are eligible. So can someone please share the polls? Okay. All right, please vote. Let's quickly vote. At this point, I would hand over control to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Philip.
Thank you, TM Abubakar. I'm just having so okay. So thank you for everyone. Everyone that spoke today, I thought they did a great job answering the questions that were posed by TM Abubakar. And one of the things I really enjoyed, there are like 1 or 2 nuggets I got from listening to everyone, right? The first is the importance of trust in relationships, the importance of listening to your children, even when they are not saying anything. That was interesting. And then the last one was the importance of names. And Joy, you mentioned that you like the name Joy for your child. But as you know, I love your name. I just love the way that it sounds, Joy Cheyenne. You know, so for me, a name, the importance of name is also how it sounds. Like, I love like the bounce off of a name. I've made a lot of friends because of my last name, Obi. You know, and for those that watch Star Wars, that's a character in Star Wars, Obi-Wan Kenobi. So when I was in the US, people just loved that name. So a lot of people call me Obi instead of calling me my first name. You know, so yeah, so I love that. So without that being said, we've cast all our votes, correct?
Yes, we have.
So let's move to get the listening evaluator the table topics evaluator in the person of Ayotola Olarinwaju. She joined Toastmasters in 2015. She's the current president of Lighthouse Prestige Toastmasters Club. She's a dressmaker who loves reading and mirror talking. Only Ayotola would have that in her bio. You know, please let's make welcome TM Ayotola Olarinwaju.
Mic check.
Your mic is breaking up. Your mic, is it you or me?
Oh, I was wondering.
Can we hear her?
How do I
think it's a mic, it's a network, not strong enough.
Okay.
Breaking.
Sound like your network is dwindling. Lots of dwindling networks today. Maybe you can try without the video. Maybe you can try without the video, Ayatola. Maybe that might help. Sometimes that does help.
Okay, how is it now?
Yes, it's clear now. At least I can hear you.
Okay. Yes, I can just be shy and be behind the camera. That's
you shy? You've not been shy since you were born, no, Ayatola.
A round of applause to all of the table topic speakers, please. Everyone, that was amazing. Amazing. I like the fact that every single participant volunteered. I mean, I fear volunteering, but there's one person that encourages me all the time. And I'm so inspired by our participation, and that's our first speaker, Toastmaster Joy Cheyenne. I mean, I don't know how you do it, but it's something that I'm hoping that I can get up to. Toastmaster Joy Cheyenne, she was asked if you could have picked your own name, what would it have been? It was as if she was waiting for that question. Like she had thought her whole life that I should have changed my name. And she just jumped right into it. She didn't even get to think about it. Yes, she repeated the question. And there's two things that repeating a question does. One, for clarity, like, did I hear that well? Is this what you asked? And two, it helps you coordinate your thoughts. And that is what she did. Like, she just jumped into it and she said, Zoe. And she told us what it meant. She said it means life, the God kind of life. And then she went into it and what it means. She said, I mean, every single time I've heard her speak, I've never got to evaluate a speech. And I was like, don't worry, I'll get you one day. And today it was just like, yes, thank God she's participating. And I was looking for, okay, what will she do that I want to pick out? I said, yes, just relax on this, but nothing. And I kept looking. She had good facial expression. She had a smile on her face. Like I could just feel that name actually does bring life to you. And towards the end of the speech, you circled back to the question and you said, so what would if I could change my name, it would be Zoe. And then you encouraged us. Now, this is a secret. I actually had that name on my head for a while. And when I watched a movie yesterday, foreign movie, and I saw Zoe Saldana, for those who are familiar with her. And I was like, oh, Zoe. I actually said it out loud. So the way you said it, I'm like, my one children, all of them, Zoe 1, Zoe 2, Zoe 3. So you encourage us to use the name. That's beautiful. Thank you very much. Another round of applause for her, please. I would recommend stuff, but I didn't find anything, unfortunately. So if anybody found something, please tell her or tell me so I can tell her. I would love to do that. The next speaker is Toastmaster Timothy. He was asked, what did you want to be while growing up? He also did the same thing for the same effect, repeated the question, and then said he would have loved to be a mechanical engineer, and then talked about it briefly. He just talked about the profession briefly. I would have loved if you actually just told a little, maybe something. It could be real, it could not be real. Just tell us a little thing about mechanical engineers that really fascinates you, that would get someone else interested in it. But you took your time and you just went into it. But somehow you were also a bit, I think, you didn't have body movement per se. I expected you to have a little of that, if not so much. you just were so close to your camera. I was just seeing your face, nothing else but that. And yeah, that could have helped a lot. But overall, it was beautiful. Thank you for volunteering. It's not easy to actually volunteer for a table topic, trust me. And then the next speaker, Toastmaster Muslimat, my own sister, she knows this. She was asked, what traits do you admire most in a close family member? And then she just went straight to say, okay, if I could get the question right, yeah, that's the part of clarity there. What traits would I admire most is trust. She goes on to talk about what trust does. And she mentioned that trust is not about just seeing the person and the person seeing you, but for what the person can do when you're not even there. If I would have a recommendation, it's like a little energy. I know me, I can be all over the place, and you are the cool sister that I have, but a little energy, because it felt like, okay, I've had trust issues, and that's why you're actually saying, so it was low. If you could just pick up the tempo, that would be beautiful. And then you ended with a charge that we should learn to trust and be trustworthy and just do things that make people trust us. Okay, quickly, the next speaker, TMO. I don't know if she's a guest or a Toastmaster. And she said, if you could trade places with a parent, what would you do differently? And she said, pay more attention straight to it. Like it was clearly something she had considered. And she said, pay more attention. She talked about what attention does for the children and how it helps them. I lost her a bit. I guess it was my network, but I heard the part where she actually referred to the part that what she missed most was her parents not listening. And that was her tying it to why that is what she would change about our parents. And if I would recommend something is you volunteered, that's beautiful. But since you know you were going to volunteer, you could try to be at least a little camera ready so we could see your pretty face as you gave your speech. Moving quickly to the last, but definitely not the least speaker, Toastmaster Rajiv. You asked what's your best space at home? And you just went straight to say, wherever I can spend quality time with my family. So it's not anywhere per se, it's just anywhere you could spend quality time with your family. That shows your love for your family, and it shows how much you appreciate time with them. And you also tied it to the theme of the day, which was beautiful. This is the second time I'm hearing you speak, and I noticed that every single time you try to use the word of the day. That's beautiful as well. If I could recommend just one thing, your closing wasn't as powerful as I would expect because you're a Toastmaster. And he just went to the part where he said, okay, because it's of comfort and peace, that's all. I expected it to tie in like, because of the comfort and peace you would get when with family, something like that, where you just round it up and say, thank you very much. And I felt like if you're giving an example of a time you spent with your family, maybe while having breakfast or something, it would have been something relatable and you would have had a lot more time and not be behind time. So that's it per se for all the evaluation. Thank you so very much. Another round of applause to all of the participants. Thank you. I really enjoyed listening to you. Now over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, TM Ayatollah. Never a dull moment with you. So thank you to everyone that participated in the table topic session, from the speakers to the topics master to the evaluator. So this is the point. Do we still go for breaks? I know it's been a while. I was in a meeting. Do we still go for like a short break, or we just kind of push through? Sure, advice? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So at this point we will go for like a short. It's like 5 minutes break. How many minutes?
3 minutes. 3 minutes.
Okay, 3 minutes. Like a short 3-minute break. Since we are virtual, I guess we are still here. So I guess you can still say hello and greet people. Like I plan to say hello to a couple of people I haven't talked to in like years. So the break starts now. So the meeting will reconvene in about 3 minutes, but you can unmute and, Say hello.
Hello.
Hello, TM Philip. Where have you been?
Hello, Tim Jules. I love your hair.
I've been hiding the pandemic. Like 2 weeks ago, if you had seen me, you'd have thought I was Moses.
I like your hair. Is this your natural hair?
Is that your blouse? Is that your shirt?
The ladies are taking over.
Yes, so.
I mean, ladies always take over. That's like a part of life. If you're a man and you think, Jay-Z said, we take over. No, ladies always take over. So.
Oh, yes.
So the Toastmaster of the day, Mr. Obi, TM Obi, you are right again. As a man, you are right.
Like I said, I haven't met you before, and I'm already loving you.
You haven't seen anything.
Loving me. My mentor has come.
Yeah, Philip, you haven't seen anything.
Yeah, second love. He's professing it in public. People will be doing it privately. This is the kind of love we want.
No, I'm not a private professor. I'm a public professor of love.
I'm not surprised, TM Philip. Good to see you. I'm not surprised. TM Juliet is a phenomenon.
Thank you, man.
Yes.
Nice.
It's good.
Hope everybody's safe though.
Oh yes. Although a few of us are back to work. I don't know if you are. Are you still working from home?
No, we're still doing the whole work from home, and honestly, with the way that the Delta strain or whatever is acting up, I would not be surprised if that's the case to the end of the year, honestly.
Yeah. It's in place already. So in my workplace, we are running a rotation. So you come for a week, you don't come for another week, like that till the end of the year.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, like lots of other tech companies I know, like mostly in the US, obviously, they've already given the message that you don't have to come to the office to the end of the year because there's just too much uncertainty,
Yeah.
Yeah,
everybody's just trying to be careful.
Check your chat. TM Gimba.
Yes, ma'am.
Please check your chat. What's up?
Okay.
Thank
yes,
you.
absolutely. No problem. Thank you.
But we'll see.
Okay, so usually because of time, we would have loved to do a breakout session, but because of time, time is up already. Oh well. Maybe next.
Yeah, time is up. I guess I'm a little off on my Toastmasters etiquettes and stuff. So forgive me if I'm a little slow catching back up to speed. So now, welcome back, everyone. We are going to move to the second portion of the meeting, which is really where I love the most because it's when we get to listen to prepared speeches. So we have 4 speeches today. Our first speech is going to be from, I said today that I love names. And is somebody's name really A.A. Paul? Is that really your name?
Oh, yes, it is.
Oh man, that is a name, right?
Thank you, sir.
So TM Paul is a non-governmental manager and non-fiction writer. He joined Toastmasters in May 2021. He enjoys reading, swimming, and martial arts. He will be evaluated by TM Salif Mohammed, who is a public speaking and influence coach. TM Salif helps people find their voices so that they can give clients and target audiences phenomenal experiences. He's the immediate past president of Lighthouse Prestige Toastmasters Club and the current Area 16 director. So please, TM Salif, can you tell us TM A. Paul's objectives?
Thank you very kindly, TM Philip Obi. TM A. Paul. Are you on the call?
Yes. You're very much with yourself.
All right, congratulations on your decision to do your icebreaker.
Thank you, sir.
You have taken the first bold step to dwindle your fear of public speaking and start off this enthralling journey of leadership and public speaking.
Thank you, sir.
The purpose of is for you to introduce yourself to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. You have 4 to 6 minutes. Have fun. There are no rules here. Over to you, the Toastmaster.
Please, let's give a resounding applause for TMAA Paul, who will be giving a speech titled "The Book and the Making of a Champion." TMAA Paul, please let's show him love. It's his icebreaker speech.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Home is where the heart is. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, friends, invited guests, our fellow Toastmasters. It's a great pleasure to be at home with you once again. As has been said, this is my icebreaker speech, and it's titled "The Book and the Making of a Champion." Just before muting my phone and putting it on visual, I quickly Googled and scrolled through the world list of 20 richest authors. And they are all white men and women, except for a single black man in Nigeria. These are individuals who have significantly and positively impacted the world and make it a better place through their books. I read their stories, and as much as I would have loved to say that authors are born, in all honesty and fairness, the truth is authors are made. These illustrious men and women clearly show that authors are made, and I want to be at home with them. My name is A.A. Paul. I am a writer and a published author. Possibly you've come across any of my books. I'm the author of Straight Up, the ultimate guide to teaching your child healthy sexuality. For me, book writing is a calling and a ministry. Therefore, as you might have guessed, I was not born with the skill and talent of an author. I am developing those skills and talents in the furnace of life. Just a little digression before I come back to bookmaking, to book and the making of a champion. I grew up in the ancient city of Ibadan. I had my elementary and my high school at Ibadan, and my tertiary education at the University of Lagos, UNILAG. I grew up a stammerer, and I had a terrifying fear of public speaking. Yet, the path of my life, my destiny has a lot to do with speaking. Fear of public speaking dwindles my courage. Fear of public speaking dwindles my impact. Fear of public speaking dwindles my strength. Fear of public speaking reduces my voice. But I made a decision not to allow fear, whatever its shape, its size, its color, its origin or race, to dwindle the quality of my life, to dwindle the impact of my life. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a key reason I joined the Toastmasters, to kill fear and to forget everything that has to do with it. Back to book writing and the making of a champion. As I said earlier on, book writing comes with a lot of challenges and sacrifice. However, the glory also comes with a lot of benefits. And I said earlier on too, book writing is a calling and a ministry to me, and is an alternative to speaking until now that I've determined to take the bull by the horn. My latest book was published 4th of August, just 3 weeks ago. And it took me 13 months to accomplish. On the launching day, the expectation was high. My O was skybound. The market was waiting for my killing. And I made a dive headlong. For the launching of this book, I accounted so much on the social media, where I had over 800 WhatsApp contacts who are familiar with my weekly seminar activities. This is in addition to over 800 people. This is in addition to over 800 people who are members of my WhatsApp parenting group. In addition to my friends and followers on Facebook. I counted on these people on the day of launching to make my book launching a huge success. But lo and behold, even the best laid out plans may fail. Little did I know that even the best laid out plans may fail. I launched my book on Thursday, 4th of August, but alas, it was to a woeful sale. Only 3 individuals made purchases. As you might have imagined, it was a reality shock. The experience was emotionally and psychologically devastating. My spirit fell. My heart fainted. Then a day after the launching, which happened to be a Friday, an August visitor called, an angel in the form of a Toastmaster joy, asking if I would deliver my overdue icebreak speech on the following day, which happens to be Friday, a fortnight ago. You know my response already. It was a flat and a capital no. However, I soon that she was not Christine joyed for nothing. Barely 20 hours to go to the Toastmasters meeting, she literally charged me and encouraged me to make my book launching experience my first speech. I was dazed by such an audacious suggestion. And of course, I made so many excuses, and she logically refuted them. The heavens aided our effort. Suddenly, from a reservoir deep down in my spirit man, the word came and was eating my thoughts life again and again, again and again, again and again. A torrential downpour I was powerless to contain. 2 passages of the scripture from the book of Proverbs hit me. The first says, if you faint in the day of adversity, your strength is small. If you fail in the day of adversity, your strength is small. If you fail in the day of adversity, your strength is small. And the second scripture came and says, for a righteous man may fall 7 times and rise again. For a righteous man may fall 7 times and rise again. For a righteous man may fall 7 times and rise again. And I was hit again by the third passage of the scripture. I may not be able to quote it verbatim, but it comes from the book of Habakkuk, chapter 3, verse 17 and verse 18, which says, though the fig tree may not blossom, not fruit be on the vine, though the labor of the olive may fail, and the fields yield no food, though the flock may be cut off from the fold, and there be no herbs in the stalls, yet I will rejoice in the Lord. I will joy in the God of my salvation. The Lord God is my strength. He will make my feet like the deer's feet, and the wave will make me to walk on my high heels. And just like a dream, I was drifted out of my zero zone into a blinding sunlight of hope and faith. TM Joy's pep talk gave me a new thinking cap, and with my faith, I was ready to wear it to the stars in the sky. I have decided to take some new approaches and to take certain and do certain things differently so as to make my book to gain high visibilities and gross in a steady income. Do you care to know what this strategy and thought has?
Oh, sorry, TM. TM, Paul. You are actually like 5 minutes over time, so maybe you might need to round up the speech. You're almost going on 11 minutes right now.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. DJ Philip Obi. I don't know whatever is holding you down. I don't know whatever your fear may be. I don't know whatever negative experience you might have had. But I am here to say, I'm here to tell you, the story may be like mine, but there's hope for you. You can make it. There's a sunlight at the end of that dark tunnel. Try again. When you aspire to acquire what you desire, don't despair, but refire, because you actually acquire. Ladies and gentlemen, home is where the heart is. This is home for me. My heart is very much with you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I've come to the end of my speech.
Thank you for that speech, TM Paul. And thank you, TM Joy. It appears that you are one of the biggest proponents of pushing the Toastmasters, getting people to speak. So please do not stop doing that, TM Joy. And we'll move to the next speech, which will be by TM Abubakar Jimba. TM Abubakar joined Toastmasters in 2018. He is the current VPE of Lighthouse Prestige Toastmasters Club. He is a project manager. When he's not eating or sleeping, he does more reading. TM Abubakar will be evaluated by TM Jube Ojomo. Is TM Jube on? TM Jube, are you on? If TM Jube is not on, maybe I would evaluate. Is TM Jube on? Maybe I'll go ahead and
Can I volunteer?
Sure.
Okay then.
Sure, please.
And
this is for those that are new to Toastmasters. This is what Toastmasters is all about, is on-the-spot leadership. This is what we really need in our country. This is the only way we can move forward, is when people step up. When there's a problem, people actually step up and lead. So thank you, TM Joy, again, for showing leadership when needed. So please, can you give TM Abubakar his objectives? I know it's kind of off the cuff, but.
Yeah, it's fine. I have it.
Okay. Good.
Hello, TM Abubakar. It is my unreserved delight to evaluate you, even though I didn't plan to. Now, the purpose of this speech is simply for you to introduce yourself to the club and to learn the basic structure of a public speech. So I wish you all the best.
Thank you. Can I start?
Yes, please.
Okay. Thank you so much. I should time myself. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My name is Abubakar. I have a short story for us today. 25, 26, 27 years ago, here in Lagos, there was a school called Caroline International Schools. In this school, there was a teacher. Her name is Mrs. Okafor. She's known for being notorious. She beats pupils because she has this no-nonsense attitude. She doesn't like it when kids misbehave. She has this yellow cane that's very slender. So when she plugs you with it, it changes its shape temporarily, but at the end of the day, it comes back to a straight cane. It's magical. I don't know how she does it. This woman teaches primary 1. She teaches counting and mathematics. So one day in her class, a new student came in, a new pupil. He came to our class that very day and he was briefly introduced to everybody and he was asked to sit down and he started the class with them. During the course of the class, Mrs. Okafor was teaching counting, how to count with addition. So she was trying to get across to the pupils to make them understand how to count, but it was difficult for her. They were resistant. So she devised a means to use the fingers on their hands to actually teach them how to do it. So she started asking them in the chorus, class, how many fingers do you have? Then everybody in the class now said 10, but someone said 12. So Mrs. Okafor now just turned around to him. That was the new boy. And she asked him, you, how many fingers do you have? The boy said 12. That was how Mrs. Okafor immediately picked up her cane and hit him on his head. Immediately after hitting him on his head, the boy went, ow. So Mrs. Okafor now saw that he actually has 12 fingers. And so she became apologetic immediately, and as luck would have it, she never laid her hands on him till he finished the school. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, that boy was me. I have 6 fingers on each hand, and in case you're wondering, I have 6 on each leg, so in total I have 24 fingers. You see, prior to that time, I never thought about how, I started looking at my classmates and I saw that everyone else has 5. So I was curious. I waited for break to see my sister. I met my sister and she also has 5 fingers. So I was thinking to myself, whoa, is something wrong with me? Why am I different? So I waited till when it's time to get picked up from school. There was a lady called Linda. She was assigned to pick us up from school. So when she came, I looked at her and I saw that she has 5 fingers as well. So naturally, I was confused. I kept thinking, is there something wrong with me? Why does everyone else have 5 and I have 6? I was just thinking in my head. My curiosity never dwindled. In fact, I was so curious. At the time I went home, I met my mom and I saw that my mom too has 5. And I immediately said to myself, no. Mom, why is it that everyone else has 5 fingers and only me have 6? My mom wanted to just say, leave me alone, I'm busy. But she now saw that I was so concerned. She saw the concern in my face. She saw how helpless I was. So she now sat down and she called me. She said, okay, sit down. And she said to me, because God wants you to eat more food. I said, Mom, how? She said, if you put your hand in a bowl of food, you are expected to fetch more because you have more fingers. So from now on, you should eat more food. prior to this time, I didn't eat a lot of food. And so my mom had an opportunity to pounce, and she made me believe that I had extra fingers because I am supposed to eat more. And I believed her. So parents, be careful what you tell your children, because I feel like it's my birthright to eat. Even now, I control myself not to eat more than usual. So my curiosity dwindled temporarily. But when I moved back up north to Kaduna, I noticed everybody was looking at me, everybody was staring at me. People are supposed to be praying or all that, but they'll be looking at me and then just trying to find out how, just basically making me self-conscious. And so, unfortunately for me, I developed a shell. Shortly after, I sort of just stopped talking to people. I stopped coming out. I was indoors all day. I became a loner. I started to read because my dad thought maybe something was wrong with me. Maybe they thought I was being molested or something, but it turned out I wasn't. So I was just being given books. So I read a lot of books. To an extent that I thought my life was going to be that way. No more public speaking, no talking to people. And that was how I moved through secondary school and university until it was time to defend my project. I had to stand in front of an audience and I had to speak in public. I thought to myself, I need to learn how to do this or else I'm going to fail. I tried as much as possible to practice, but that was how I found out about Toastmasters. You see, when I first heard about Toastmasters, I thought it's where people toast bread or where people learn to toast girls. Regardless, I wanted to learn how to toast bread and how to toast girls. So I went to my first club meeting immediately, and the rest, as they say, is history. You see, to a very large extent, Toastmasters is beneficial, but you have to make up your mind to do it. You have to come up, you have to show up, and you have to speak. And so today I'm happily married. I work as a project manager. I give a few public speeches. I know I have room for improvement, and I try as much as possible to do that, which is why I'm starting this very path, and I hope to complete it before the end of the year. So in case I don't do that, please check in with me so that you can beat me on my head. Thank you very much, the Toastmaster of the day.
That is how you give a speech. If you are looking for like a template on how to give and obviously you're not giving for the first time, so that's not really an icebreaker, but that was a wonderful speech. You had me, for once in my life, I listened. Usually I talk, but this time around, I actually listened for the whole 6 minutes. Thank you, TM Abubakar. And thanks for reiterating the fact that parents have been lying to children since kingdom come, since forever. Talking about you needing to eat more food. That was very clever, though. So moving on to the next speech, which would be by TM Fumi Ilori. Hope I pronounced that correctly. I was looking for the N, but that in Ilori, but I guess that's not Ilori, it's Ilori. TM Fumi is the CEO of I Read Mobile Library. She's an educational consultant and a prolific writer of children's books. She joined Toastmasters in June 2021 and has won Best Table Topic Speaker as a guest. Her hobbies include photography, storytelling, reading, and adventure. Ooh. She will be evaluated by TM Juliet Okene. Is TM Juliet on?
Yes, please, Mr. Toastmaster.
Okay, great. Oh, it's you, my new best friend. Oh. So TM Juliet joined Toastmasters in February 2020. And she's the current VP PR of Lighthouse Prestige Toastmasters Club. She's an accountant by training, but a human resources practitioner. She enjoys coaching, sewing, reading, and she loves food. Please, can you give TM Fumi her objectives?
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster of the day. TM, please check your audio.
Hello,
please check your audio. Just check your audio. There's feedback from your audio. I don't know if you have to devices connected to this meeting?
Can you hear me?
Okay, I think it's better. Can you speak without your microphone, without the headpiece?
Okay, so I'm actually in a noisy zone and I can talk without the headphone. Can you hear me?
Yes, this is way better. This is way better.
Yes.
Oh, sorry about that. So good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. It is my pleasure to introduce TM Fumi project for today, and she will be speaking from the Visionary Communication Pathway. She is expected to deliver a well-organized speech on any topic of her choice. Her speech can be humorous, informational, or any style. The purpose of this project is for her to receive feedback from me, her evaluator, and to apply that same feedback to her second speech. TM Fumi, I'll be focusing on your speaking style, and I will give my report when called upon by the general evaluator. By way of note, I would like to say quickly that TM Fumi, it is an honor to be evaluating you today because you are indeed an inspiration. You joined Toastmasters in June this year. You gave your icebreaker next month, and here you are again giving your level 1 project. It is really amazing, and this is one of the ways, guys, you can dwindle your fear of public speaking. So TM Fumi, go break a leg. I'm rooting for you.
Wow, thank you so much. And I hope that this position is not going to dwindle my scores and evaluation. Beautiful morning, Toastmasters and guests in the room. As I have been introduced, my name is Fumi, and I'm very passionate about reading. I founded the foremost mobile library for children because I saw the dwindling educational system in Nigeria. If we do not work at it, then it would continue to dwindle. And today, my speech is addressing tools that leaders need. And one of that best tool is reading. There are many reasons why leaders need to read. As the quote says, readers are leaders. Readers need to get information. They need to help out. They need to provide vision for the subordinates and the people that they're also leading. And that's why we cannot overemphasize why reading is important to us every day. When we read, we generate a lot of innovative ideas. I bet to say that reading has helped my journey as a leader. From a very young age, I had been introduced to books. From a very young age, I have introduced my children to books. In fact, my children started reading from my womb. I would read stories to them. And every month, they celebrate their birthdays because I had to buy them a book gift. It was the collection of their books that I used in starting my mobile library business. My children would go to the cinema once a month, and they would still go with their books because the cinema may just not start on time. They tell me, why would the cinema not start on time? They have already been immersed in the culture of reading. And so they give every excuse as to why they should read. As leaders of Toastmaster, I want to challenge us today that we must continue to improve the reading journey and not make it dwindle. And so some of the ways that we can help, or some of the ways that reading would help us as readers, is because reading helps us to be great thinkers. Has it ever occurred to anyone that you're trying to address an issue and something jumps at you, something you have read jumps at you? At that time, you just become a solution provider because reading helps you to think and prefer solutions. Reading also improves our people skill. I run an organization, and in my organization, I work with large numbers of parents, large numbers of staff. I have so many children to work with. I cannot afford not to have people skills. And something that has helped me over the years is my ability to read widely and even in-depth reading. And so I'm also telling us as Toastmasters that we need to continually increase and improve our ability to read and delve into this culture. Reading helps us to master communication, and I'm really excited that my journey into Toastmasters is visionary communication. The more you read, the more you know, the more vocabulary that you would acquire. We need the vocabulary to be able to express ourselves and have our people come along with us. If you don't have words, how do you persuade people about the vision that you carry? Reading would help us get this done. Aside that, reading helps us to relax. Don't try it after today. Just read something before you go to bed, and you would see that your dreams will be different from when you have not read. You need to find out what it is that you're reading. As leaders, you can read everything. Open your mind to even reading things outside of your own field. I read, and I encourage people to read. If you want to improve on your reading, find a book club to join. If you think that, oh, reading is tasking, you can begin to look out for people with like minds. Read books together. Open your mind to them. Books will take you very far in life. Books would also help you to reduce stress. As leaders, we could really go through stress. Every day could be a very stressful day. But when you read, you sort of forget all the things that you're thinking about, especially when they're negative thoughts. And so I'm saying to us today, let us embrace this reading culture. Reading, as leaders, we mustn't dwindle in it. Finally, I want to recommend to us the books that we should read. I know that we would be readers before now, but I'm asking, have you read a book titled Becoming a Leader by Miles Monroe? You could put that in your collection. You could also read Good to Great. One great book that you should read is 7 Habits of Highly Effective Leaders. This would help you in the journey of leadership. I'm currently reading a book. I traveled all the way to Ijebu this morning to attend my aunt's burial. And all through the journey, I was reading. And this book has helped me even in preparing and delivering this great speech that I'm doing today. So I challenge you again. Read. Doesn't matter how long you read. It doesn't matter how well you read. But read something every day so that you will live healthy, so that your brain would be at work. Reading is a tool for leaders, and we mustn't dwindle in that culture. Thank you.
Thank you, TM Fumi. I'm not showing off by showing I actually have this book. You know, even though I've not read it, but I have it. That's the first step. That's the first step. Now, so, you know, to your point before we go to the next speech, I didn't realize how bad the reading is in Nigeria. I used to have some workers, and one of them, when I found out that he couldn't read, I asked him if he could read. He said he could. So I sent him a long message increasing his salary. But obviously he can't read, and he never read it. So it took a month for him to find out his salary had been increased when he saw his alert. But the point is that a lot of people, because they can't read, they don't like to, it's a very sensitive topic. They don't like to claim that they can't read. But, you know, I really applaud what you're doing. You know, reading should start early. The earlier it starts, the better, the more confident adults you have to be able to face the world that we currently are. So thank you for that. reading an essential tool for leaders. The last speech here is by TM Ajani Ibrahim. TM Ajani Ibrahim is a registered surveyor. He loves to play chess, read poetry, watch sitcoms. What's your favorite sitcom? His life mantra is nothing
Friends.
is impossible. Oh, Friends, good. And his favorite quote is, pressure is a privilege. I mean, that's interesting. It only comes to those who earn it. He will be evaluated by, this is a name I love. Like I said, I love the sound of names. TM Musimot Akinola. First name is some flick, some point. Musinot is a banker who joined Toastmasters in February 2020. She has won Best Table Topic Speaker, and she's very adventurous with food. She loves listening to music, working out, window shopping, normal woman things. She's the treasurer of Lighthouse Prestige Toastmasters Club. So TM Musimot, please can you tell us Ajani's objectives?
Thank you very much, the Toastmaster of the day, TM Obi. It is indeed an honor to be the one to evaluate the wordies, TM Ajani Ibrahim. And TM Ajani Ibrahim will be delivering a toast under the presentation mastery, level 3, project 2. The purpose of his project is to practice and deliver a social speech in front of club members. And of course, he has chosen to do a toast. He's given a toast that is titled, A Toast to WS. So join me in making welcome TM Ajani Ibrahim as he delivers his toast. The floor is yours.
Is mine. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're enjoying the lively ambience of this amazing occasion, because I sure am. Even the torrent of the rain could not dwindle my spirit. Now it's time for his toast, and I want you to be ready for it. So go ahead, grab yourself a glass of wine, or juice, or water, or even a can of soda, as we prepare for this toast, because this is a toast to someone that means a lot to me. I've never met this person in person, but I've met him through his works. This person, who is this person? I call him WS. And WS is a giant in the world of literature. He is the author of so many great works like Arcade Years of Childhood, The Man Died, and the classic, of course, The Lion and the Jewel, just to mention a few. So this is a toast to WS, my honorary ancestor WS, my not so biological grandfather WS. WS is a lot of things to me. He is a teacher, a storyteller, a magician that casts spells with words. And I may not fully understand the magic of his words, but he works wonders with his pen. Distinguished Toastmasters and our beautiful, beautiful guest. WS holds me with the firm grips of his tall tales and takes me on a journey across time. From the beautiful gardens of his childhood in Ake to this intense atmosphere of his teenage years in Ibadan, from his education in England to his non-existent musical career in Paris, from his struggle in the name of democracy to his incarceration in the cells of Kaduna. WS holds me with the firm grips of his tall tales and takes me on a journey everywhere. The young man calls himself a glutton for tranquility, and we have no reason to doubt him. I mean, he has always been different. He has always been the conscience and the consciousness of our nation. WS clocked 87 on the 13th of July this year, and we'll believe he's 87 already. I mean, his iconic gray hair remains as dazzling as ever. His gait, straight as an arrow, his stance, unshaken. WS is a sorcerer, a words sorcerer. He is a poet, a political activist, a playwright, an author, among other things. WS elevates culture with his words. His true genius is the fact that he knows who he is. And of course, he knows who I am too, figuratively at least. And he constantly draws inspiration from the basic things that mere mortals like myself might take for granted. Things like his origins, his culture, his community, and the everyday banalities of life itself. So, distinguished Toastmasters, our beautiful, beautiful guests, and the Toastmaster of the day. Without your presence in this occasion to honor WS would be incomplete. So I invite all of you to raise a glass with me as I toast to WS, the storyteller, the teacher, the magician, Wale Soyinka, to more years of good health and to more years of his beautiful, beautiful writings. I see you raising your glasses. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Back to you, the Toastmaster of the day.
Raise what you have, right?
Yeah. Yeah, raise what you have.
TM Ajani, that was a great toast. And it was interesting that you waited to the end to say Wale Soyinka. I was like, WS, who's WS? So that was, I don't know if that was intentional, but
that was intentional.
It kept me thinking. So it also got me thinking. You praised this man so heartily, like this, and he didn't pay you. So if he paid you, you need. I need to write him.
It means a lot to me. That's why I did that.
And let him know that he has someone that the next, I don't know how old he is now, or how old he is now.
Wale Soyinka is 87 now.
87, wow.
Yeah.
So when he's on his 90th, I nominate you to give the speech. I think you would do an awesome job because that's what you did.
My honor. It will be my honor.
Here today. Yeah. So without further ado, I think it's important for us to, did we enjoy the speeches here today? Can you unmute? I need to hear voices. Did we enjoy the speeches here today?
Absolutely.
Yes, please. Let's give them a round of applause. I think we need to hear. Yes, those were wonderful speeches. I really took a lot of nuggets from what I heard today. So since you've heard of the speeches, it's time for us to cast our votes. Before we do that, however, the timekeeper, how did we do with regards to time?
Thank you, the Toastmaster of the day. Apart from Toastmaster A. Paul, every other speech that was delivered are eligible to be voted for. Thank you.
Great, thank you for the information. So you can vote anybody but A. Paul, so TM Abubakar Jimba, TM Fumi Ilori, and TM Ajani Ibrahim. Okay. So that's while we are doing that, I will call on the general evaluator to bring her team on stage so that they can evaluate the meeting and the speeches. So TM Chinyere, please come back to the stage, the lectern. So is TM Chinyere there?
Okay, yeah, sorry, I'm here.
Okay.
So good afternoon once more, Toastmasters and guests. So I'll be calling on my team to give their reports. So at the end of their report, I will give mine. So on my first list is the grammarian. Please, the grammarian, come. Put hands together for the grammarian as she's coming back to give his reports.
Thank you, everyone. Today's meeting was splendid, right? The TM Abubakar's speech was it got me stuck. I was just waiting to hear the end of the story. His six fingers thing and his love for food. Very, very interesting story. Same with the last speaker. Tim Juliet, you're raising up your hand. I think it was meant to connect his evaluation of the
Exactly, because I have not used the word of the day. If you start giving your report now, I would have lost the opportunity, and I've already inserted it in my evaluation. Please, because of me, I beg. Thank you.
Okay. So over to the evaluator. I think the first evaluator is...
Yeah, so Toastmaster Chinyere, please call the evaluators to evaluate the speeches, then we go ahead to the role players.
Okay. Sorry, I don't even know if I have the people evaluating.
Yes, I can help you out. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, please do. I don't...
Yeah, so the first evaluator is TM Salif Mohammed. Evaluating TM A4.
Okay.
TM Salif, are you there? Okay, let's go to the next person. TM Joy, evaluating TM Abubakar. Yep.
Yes, please. TM Abubakar, are you there?
Yes, thank you.
Yes, I can see you. Okay, so the objective of your speech today was to introduce yourself to the club and to learn the basic structure of a speech. So on the first two counts, I would say, yes, you have met your objectives. Now, the basic structure of a speech, for the benefit of anyone who's wondering, is to have an opening, to have a body, and to have a closing. And in delivering your speech today, Toastmaster Abubakar, you met that objective. The second objective of your speech is to introduce yourself to the club, and you used a story. You actually did tell us that you were going to tell us a story, and like we would always say at Toastmasters, a story is always a winner. A story is a less serious way of getting people to listen to you, and by using a story, you kind of made it, you kind of put us at ease to let us know that, okay, it's not anything you guys need to get your panties in a bundle over. Now, you had a very good opening. You started by telling us a story about a teacher. I think her name was Mrs. Okoro or Kafo. I know one of those two names. And I like the fact that you were standing. There's something they say about standing when you're giving a speech. I think they said it opens up your airwaves and gets you more relaxed. So if you think that sitting is easy, I think you might want to consider standing for your next speech. You had a very good use of pauses. They weren't too long and they weren't too short. And the best part of your speech was the way you let on your emotions in expressing. I remember when you said they hit someone on the head, and when you went home to tell your mother about when you asked her why you had 6 fingers, and initially she wanted to just shoo you away, but when she saw that something must have happened, she just used that opportunity to get you to eat, because I imagine you weren't eating as much as you should. Now, what would I like you to do better? I think at the times when you were assuming another personality, so when you were your mother or when it was the teacher speaking, you might have used some kind of voice modulation or role-playing. Some role-playing could have come into the picture to help us understand that it was someone else speaking. Aside that, I think you have met the objectives of your speech successfully, and I look forward to listening to you in the future again. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next person is TM. Oh, TM Salif. Is Salif back?
Yes, I am.
Okay. All right.
Sorry, I had to excuse myself since we were doing something else. Just that I had no idea we began. Am I allowed to start the
Yes.
evaluation, or I wait for it?
Yes,
All right.
please.
That's fine. AA Paul, are you there?
Very much with you, sir.
Is he on call?
Pardon?
Right.
Yes,
He's
on the call. He's on the call.
Everyone, a round of applause for TMAA Paul. TMAA Paul, congratulations on your rice breaker.
Thank you, sir.
Great work. I like the way you started your introduction and your conclusion with the theme of the meeting. I think that was great. That was very innovative, and it could only have come from someone who has been a writer and is always a writer and is passionate about writing.
Wow, thank you, sir.
You fulfill completely the purpose of your speech, which is to introduce yourself and tell us a few things about yourself. You told us that you had the passion for book writing. You also told us that about your motivation to join Toastmasters, which was to dwindle your fear of public speaking. And I can say that you're doing just that. Your speech is well structured, and I must say you have a way with words. Wow. I would like to take a look at one of your books, and I'm sure I'll gain a lot from your ability to put words together like a wordsmith. I look forward to that.
Thanks, sir.
What could you have done better? In Toastmasters, we have great respect for time. We take time very seriously. It's one of the tenets of leadership. And when you are committed to give a speech of 4 to 6 minutes, you should always adhere to that time. So, and your speech was about 100% more than the stipulated time. In your introduction, you spent a lot of time introducing about that's okay for an icebreaker, but in your future speeches, use your opening and ending meticulously. Do not waste time on unpleasant pleasantries. Make sure you begin with a bang and end with a bang. Your speech is a little bit conversational. I figured it could have been better. Most importantly, and this will come after, you need to work on your accent. And every time that we speak, we improve on that. So watch your accent, check what is obtainable. I'm sorry I have to take time here. I stand disqualified, but this is important. Not because you need to have it now, it will come later. Every time we get better in speaking, it takes time, and you look back and you see that yes, you have come a long way. So what I would advise that you do in this situation is record yourself next time. You can use apps to check if you can have something that will give like a subtitle to what you're saying. If it says exactly what you are saying, your accent is okay. If you have a subtitle that's different, it means you need to improve on your accent, and you can check how it is pronounced. And it's not something that will come today. You are a writer, so you need to translate that to the way you speak. Have fun speaking. You said you stammer, but you don't sound like you stammer at all. You don't sound so at all, and that's a very wonderful thing. So you just need to check your accent and make sure that your speech is conversational, your speech is fun, you have a way with words, you are powerful. Believe that you really can change lives with your words, even as you write them. I look forward to more speeches from you, and I know you are going to break boundaries in Toastmasters.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
the Toastmaster.
Okay, thank you for that. TM Juliet, are you on?
Yes, please, I'm here. Thank you, the Toastmaster of the day. TM Fumi, I need your camera to be on. This is for you. TM Fumi, can you hear me?
Yes, please. Yes, I'm here. My camera is on now.
Please, quickly, a round of applause for TM Fumi. If you know her history, you know she's amazing. So I'm just going to go right to it for obvious reasons to save time, so I can give you as much as I can in the allotted time. Firstly, I love the way you commenced your project. The enthusiasm with which you came on board was very infectious as you synced it into your introduction, and that was very good. You also gave a quote, readers are leaders. And that was very, very apt because it was related to every part of your project, because your project is about reading. I mean, you used examples, you used stories of how you have incorporated reading into your personal life, how you converted it into a business, and how you help your kids to read. I mean, those stories made it very, very relatable. So well done. You also employed your audience, the Toastmasters in the house, to incorporate reading, because as leaders, of course, they need to read. And you went on to highlight the benefits of reading, how it improves our people skills, our leadership skills, our communication skills. It helps us to relax and all of that. So well done. I also like something else you did where you recommended good books we could read, because some of us are lost. You gave us the Good to Great book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Steve Covey. Those are very, very good way to start reading. And I think that was a very good thing you did. You used prop. You actually showed a book you were reading while traveling, and that prompted the Toastmaster of the day to also give us a book that he hasn't started reading. But I mean, all of us have books, and I'm going to show you mine as well. So that was very good. The use of prop is very good while speaking. Now, what are the things I would challenge you with? And this is very important, because remember, this evaluation is about feedback that you're going to incorporate in your next speech. So what I would challenge you with, TM Fumi, is vocal variety. Now, what your tone was appropriate to your speech because you use the lecturer style of speaking. However, when you're teaching and you keep a monotone, it can get a bit boring and you can lose your audience. And if you know, when you're teaching is about influencing people, so try and incorporate some bit of vocal variety in your speech so you can keep your audience engaged. Secondly, the use of gestures. I think it was tied to the noise in the background that you had, so you had to hold your earpiece off you, but that denied me the opportunity to see you use your hands. So I would like you to incorporate that into your next speech. That said, I'm going to run over things you did quickly. You used the word of the day. I heard it at least 3 times, and the word of the day was dwindle. Please, grammarian, hear that. The word of the day is dwindle, and she used dwindle 3 times. So your message was clear. Your comfort level was amazing. You were so confident. You maintained eye contact, and I like that. Like I said, you use word of the day, you use props. And I am so excited at your journey from this point. Well done, Tim. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you, my valued sir. Thank you.
Thank you for that. And last but definitely not the last evaluator, TM Musilmot Akinola, to evaluate TM Ajani Ibrahim.
Do we have, okay, good. TM Ajani Ibrahim, very well done. That was a very good toast, I would say. You did a great job. And of course, you really got us thinking. Well done. The purpose of the speech was for you to practice and deliver a social speech in front of the club members, and that you did very well. I liked the fact that you were clear, we could hear you well, and your voice in the course of the toast was pronounced. There is no how one would deny the clarity in your voice. Well done. You equally made very good use of vocal variety. I could see you going up, down, while you're trying to give attributes to the so-called WS. And you kept us in suspense. It took us a while to get to know who WS is, and that's very, very good. For you to really engage your audience, especially when you're giving toast, is always good to open up at the tail end, and that you did very well, because we were just glued to you and we were carried away by the fact that you were trying to express and tell us what is it about WS that got you motivated and inclined into projecting him. And that was very well done. You equally had a good eye contact, despite the fact that it was an online session. We could see you clearly, and that, I think, it's a plus on your part too. The gesticulation, like I said, was properly done. And I say a good job to you there. Audience awareness, that you did very well too, because we were glued to you till the end of the toast. What would I have loved you do well? I noticed while you're delivering your speech that you were seated. Considering the fact that it's a toast, even normal speech, it would have been nice for you to stand and gesticulate just the way you did. But while you do that while standing, it sends more message. People see you from head to toe. They key into what you're saying more. So please, when next you have to deliver, endeavor to stand. It helps. Then I will equally suggest that you might, we do it all. I'm trying to get out of it too. Pronunciation. I could see slip of thing going for teen. Let's be watchful. It helps. In all, Mr. TM Ibrahim Ajani, I will say you've done the job very well. You've delivered on the objective of the speech, which was for you to give a toast in front of club members, and that was very well done. I look forward to more, I look forward to more of your speech, and I wish you the very best. Well done. Well done indeed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, TM Musimat. TM Chinyere, are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here. I'm still here. So, okay, let me call on the grammarian to give us his report for today's meeting.
Okay, thank you very much, TM Peace Emeka. So without wasting much of our time, I'll quickly jump into the report. Initially, I was worried that people were not using the word of the day, but my worry dwindled with time as TM Philip broke the ice and started using the word. The thing is, I'm very, very much starstruck by the way Toastmasters can just dynamically infuse a new word into their speech, like right there with spontaneity. So quickly, I'm at a Toastmasters meeting, so there were no really bad use of words, right? Everybody used their words correctly, and I don't have any report of a bad use of grammar or vocabulary at all. In terms of use of the word of the day, we did excellently well. TM AA Paul used the word most, and I guess that's because he spoke for about 11 minutes in the meeting. I will be followed by TM Fumi and TM Philip. And TM Muslimat, Salif, and Ajani also used the word graciously. Thank you very much. Over to you, TM Peace Emeka.
Okay, thank you for your wonderful reports. And okay, so our next, the next person on the list is the timer. He'll be coming to give us his reports. TM Ayogbemi, please come give us your reports of people that spoke today. TM Ayogbemi.
Thank you very much, TM Emeka. Okay, quick one for the table topic. Every of the speakers were on point except for TM Rajiv. TM Joy spent 1 minute 58 seconds. TM Timothy spent 1 minute 22 seconds. while TM Muslimat spent 2 minutes, 10 seconds. I don't know if TFO is a TM or a guest. TFO spent 1 minute, 20 seconds. While for the prepared speeches, we have TM A. Paul. He spent 13 minutes, 1 second. TM Abubakar spent 6 minutes, 3 seconds. TM Fumi Lori spent 7 minutes, 1 second. While TM Ajani Ibrahim spent 3 minutes, 59 seconds. For the evaluations, we have TM Join, we spent 2 minutes, 52 seconds. TM Salif spent 4 minutes, 41 seconds. TM Julia spent 3 minutes, 11 seconds, while TM Muslim spent 3 minutes, 30 seconds. That is it for me. Over to you to the general evaluator.
Okay, thank you, TM Bemi, for your reports. And as you can see, they all spoke within the time given to them, except for TM AA Paul, which I'm sure is going to do better next time. So on our list is the next, the art counter is going to be coming out to give us his own reports for the meeting. So TM Tessie, please come give us your reports for the meeting. TM Tessie, is she around?
No, she wasn't around initially.
Yeah, she wasn't around.
Sorry, someone else took. So
Okay,
TM Muslim.
I took notes, but at a point when I was talking to, I lost count. I wasn't paying enough attention. But based on the ones I picked, the use of "are," for instance, was used not too much. We were very mindful of the use of filler words, and that was indeed a good one. TM Muslimat used it twice, I noticed in the course of the evaluation. TM Chinyere equally used "are" twice. Then I don't know if it is an expiring TM or a TM. TFO used once while giving the table topic speech. In all, I think we had a draw between TM Muslimat and TM Chinyere. So what do we say to them?
Don't do it again.
Don't do it again.
Okay, thank you, TM Muslimat. And the next on our list is the listening evaluator, TM Ifeoluwa. They should be coming to give us a report on the listening evaluation. So TM Ifeoluwa, over to you.
Thank you, TM Peace. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, I have prepared a few questions to see if everyone was listening. I had a short time listening to the speakers, and I'm pretty sure you all did. So my first question here is, who said my children started reading from my womb? Who said?
Yeah, for me.
Yeah, okay, let me say that. Okay, fine. Noted. That's fine. The second question here is, what is the name of the school and the teacher?
Carolina High School, something like that. Mrs. Okafor.
Mrs. Okafor.
Mrs. Okafor.
Okay, what's the name of the school?
Caroline, something like that.
Caroline
National School. Yeah.
Yeah, Caroline National School.
Yeah. Okay. And who told TM Abuba so that he can eat more?
His mom.
His mom.
Okay. Now my fourth question. I have many questions though, so I don't know how many I am allowed to ask. So my first question here is, when was TM Paul's latest book launched? When was it launched?
August 4th, 2021.
Oh, wow. I see you're all listening actively. Clap for yourselves. Okay. The next one here. Which of the speakers grew up in Ibadan?
Hey, Paul.
TM Paul.
Okay. And can anyone mention one of the books TM Fumi recommended?
Good to
Seven
Great,
Habits
Seven
of
Habits of
Highly
Highly
Effective
People.
People.
Okay, so in the interest of saving time, I will back to you. TM Peace. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, TM Ifeoluwa. Okay, I must say today's meeting has been wonderful and fun-filled. So my report for today, all of protocol was observed appropriately. So for my report for today, the meeting started quite early. It started 11 o'clock on the dot, and that's good. So the Toastmaster of the day, very good job with his role. He set the mood for today's meeting. It was so lively. He carried everybody along. And I loved the way he lightened up the meeting. So I'm sure everybody enjoyed the meeting. And he also introduced all the role players and speakers appropriately. So that's very good. And I also commend the table topic master. He gave questions that went in line with the theme of the day. And I also commend the table topic evaluator. Your evaluation was really encouraging, and that was nice. So the theme for today was explain properly, but I wish we would have added more emotion since it deals with the heart and home, where a home is where the heart lies. Yeah, so I feel it would have portrayed more emotion because we're talking about the home, we're also talking about the heart. So in all, we all did everything was carried out so well. So this is my report. So I'm handing over to the Toastmaster of the day to continue.
Thank you, TM Chinyere. Round of applause for her and her team and all the good work that they've done today. So in the interest of time, I'm going to make a statement about the theme of today's meeting, home, and put some emotion behind it. I guess you guys didn't see my emotion before, so I have to display the emotion. Let me look straight into the camera. Home is where the heart is. Was that good emotion? Did I get that?
Yeah, do it again. I missed it. Do it again.
I miss the live meetings, live meetings so that we can all have fun. But I think we still had fun even though we were not in person. So at this point, I'll call on the speakers, the best speakers. So the first person for the best table topic speaker, drum roll please. TM Joy Cheyenne. Please show your face and take a slight bow. So then for the next role in Best Evaluator is TM Juliet Okene. Round of applause for her. And last but definitely not the least, the best speaker, drum roll, TM Fumi Ilori. So thank you for everyone that spoke. Thank you for the energy that you brought to the meeting today. At this point, I will transfer control of the meeting. It's good to be back, by the way. I haven't been in a meeting in a very long time. It's good to be back. And this is really a point to mention that one of the reasons why I came back is because my heart is really with this club, so in that respect, home is really where the heart is. So I'll transfer control of the meeting to TM, the Lighthouse Prestige. I'll transfer control of the meeting to TM Ayotola Olarewaju. Ayatollah, are you
Thank
there?
you so much,
President
the
of
Toastmaster.
Lighthouse.
Can you hear me? Yeah, I don't trust my network here. Can anyone hear me? So I can't turn on.
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Yes,
We
we
miss
can
your
hear
face
you.
though, but we can hear you.
Yes, the weather is still messed
Yes,
with
we
my network,
can.
so I feel like I should just leave it this way. Thank you
Yeah,
so much, everyone, for an amazing meeting. If you had fun, please give another round of applause to everyone in the meeting. Our time is, thank you. Our time is fast spent, so I don't want to keep us longer than we should because I know people want to go for tea and everything like that. So I want to say a big thank you to every single person that made this meeting work, every single role player, members, guests, and I also want to mention and say hello to our immediate past area 18 director who's with us today, Toastmaster Francis Mukolu. Thank you for making our club your second home. I want to thank other Toastmasters from other clubs, Toastmaster Rajiv, Toastmaster Ajani, that always come to spend time with us. Thank you so much. And yes, you don't think I'm going to leave you out, Toastmaster Philip, our runaway Toastmaster. Thank you for coming back, for tracing your way back home. We really appreciate. And to all our guests that spent time today, thank you so much. We do not take it for granted, and that is why we would love to meet you. Tell us your name, who you are. If you can turn on your camera, that would be really nice. Tell us your name, what you do, how you got to learn about Toastmaster, and just tell us a general feel of what you felt this meeting was like. Just give us what you think this meeting was like. So if you're a guest, this is the time to shine. Guests in the house. I'm just going to call people that I feel like I do not know.
Should we fish them out? I can see
please, let's
Toastmaster Nchedo. I hope that is correct pronunciation. Honora. Are you there?
Toastmaster Nchedo.
Yeah, I'm here. Good afternoon, everyone.
Nora. Good afternoon.
Yes,
please tell us your name. Okay. Tell us what you do, how you got to learn about our club, and what you felt about this meeting.
Okay, so I'm an operations manager with Kegas Chemical. How I got to know about Toastmasters. Okay, I used to attend the meeting sometime 2 years ago. I think I came like twice, then I stopped. So I decided to join again. Then what else? Then today's meeting was very nice. I really enjoyed everything. Thank you.
Amazing. So would you like to join soon?
Okay. Yeah, I would, because I feel like it's very insightful, so I would like to join soon.
Thank you. Next, there should be a link in the chat box right about now. Please, if you're a guest, fill in that Google form and we'll get back to you after the meeting. Do we have any other guests in the house? Real quick.
We have a Chinese Dayo.
Daya, is she a guest? Okay, I feel like it's another Daya.
Me? I'm not a me. Are you talking about me?
Yeah,
Good morning. Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm not a guest.
Apologies.
Larry Fatum Miche.
Yeah, it's not a guest as well. It's a member. So it's safe to say it's just the members of the family that are here right now. Okay. So not to waste too much of our time, we'll move to an announcement, more like a reminder. We will be having a humorous contest.
Did we lose her?
Yeah, I think we did. I can't hear her as well.
Okay. Does anybody have the, okay, I guess you're actually showing it. So while we wait for her, if you cannot, for whatever reason, you can't see the screen, we'll be having the humorous speech and table topics contest on 4th of September at the usual time. And the venue will be shared before then. It's going to be a Zoom meeting. So the details, I believe, will be shared in the WhatsApp group. I don't know if there are any, while we wait for her to come back online, if there are any other announcements that anybody has.
Thank you so much. Yes, thank you so much, Toastmaster Philip, for standing in. Yes, so the humorous contest and table topic will be held on the 4th of September. If you want to participate, please contact the Vice President Education, Toastmaster Joy, or Toastmaster Abubakar Gimba, and let them know. So without further ado, I'd like to adjourn this meeting to the 4th of September, 2021. So see you all. Have a lovely weekend. Peace.